case of domestic worker abuse is highlighting how widespread this issue is. Migrant Care told CNN 2 people have been arrested in Indonesia after an Indonesian maid died in Malaysia. The 21-year-old worker was forced to sleep outside next to a dog. She died in hospital. Meanwhile, the employer and her brother are under investigation for suspected murder. Migrant Care says the body is being sent back to her family. Activists are pointing to these deaths in their call for more protection for migrant workers. Now, Eni Lestari chairs the International Migrant Alliance, and she spoke to me about this recent case.
I feel very angry to witness her situation. I feel very angry to the employer who intentionally create that kind of condition to abuse her. For whatever reason, it is unforgivable. But I'm also angry to the government, the Malaysian government, Indonesian government, who play very naive attitude toward our reality. They always say they don't know, and they always do not want to make sure that the legal protection is ensured. So we can have a proper right, so we can go out and seek help. As simple as this, if only she will have day off once a week, it will be better for her to seek help outside instead of staying and waiting for her to die. So that kind of right has been in our campaign for a long time. Even the International Labour Organization already stipulated that in 2011 through the new Convention on Domestic Workers C189. But the government do not want to ratify. They don't want even to acknowledge domestic workers has been part of their economic development. Because of us, employer can work, can earn double, they can enjoy their life. But yet, they don't even treat us like workers. Adelina, which is the helper who died in Malaysia, actually came from very poor area in our community in Indonesia, the area where is the highest ranking of human trafficking. And the poverty has caused young people, sometimes even underage, to leave their homeland just to seek a better life outside. They know nothing better. They do not know their own rights. They just rely on broker agency to get a job. But beyond that, also the fact that our own government do not create mechanism that will ensure our protection. They leave it with the broker. They leave it with private agency to decide.
The idea of instituting a ban, right? There was the news out earlier this week. Rodrigo Duterte, the leader of the Philippines, wants to ban domestic workers from the Philippines from working in Kuwait because of the death of a domestic worker there. And a few years ago, Indonesia had put a ban on its women from working in Malaysia because of despicable cases of abuse there. That ban was later lifted. Do bans work?
No, it doesn't work at all. Malaysia has been banned, at least Indonesian government has been banning 2 or 3 times already in the past decades. They have been banning Middle East, for example, but come on, the number of domestic workers, migrant workers are increasing. Middle East has been banned for years. And they have the highest number of Indonesian population. More than 2 million Indonesians in the Middle East, only less than 500,000 are documented. So the more you ban, the more number is going up, and the more human trafficking, illegal smuggling, and so on will be increasing. So practically the ban will only create more vulnerability and create this, what we call it, illegal channel, and more causing us in a misery. So ban is not really ineffective, and we have been telling our government the only way for you to deal with the situation is to have to talk to this government bilaterally. You have to create more legally binding memorandum of agreement where you stipulate our rights, how much our wages, we should have day off, you should have a proper rest, you should have proper food. You should put that in the contract. For all domestic workers who are in the city, wherever we are, for example, whether you go to Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, for example, make sure before you leave the country, our own country, you should have a number, at least a number that you can call when you need help. You should have that, because you just do not know what's going to happen to you. And keep that number properly. A lot of agencies take everything from us, every single paper in our body, in our bag.
Including passports.
Including passports. So make sure that you keep that number in the most safest place that you try and memorize those number. And then whenever you have problem, that's the number you have to call for help.